Welcome to Toy Hill Studio. My name is Kendall Kessler. I'm going to do another demo painting, beginning in here and then finishing it off camera. This time I'm starting with this prop flower. It's a plastic one. I don't even know what kind of flower it is. But I have all kinds of ideas on how I want to do this today. So I'm just going to really play around and see what happens. What I'm not going to do is an academic painting. It's not going to be a real careful painting of a flower. I want to get real expressive. And I especially like the interesting kind of serrated leaves of this flower. And I may stick with that, I may not, I don't know. One thing I do know is I really want to bleed the painting, because the reason I really like this flower is the way the petals, the way they really curve. So I want to really get into that and let them, with the paint, go into the space. And I'm not going to really stick to the color. Like I said, I am just starting with this flower. It's giving me an idea, and then it's going to become my own. And I just don't know what's going to happen. Right now I'm being kind of academic, but who knows? We'll see. To me, it doesn't matter really what you paint. It's just how you do it. I remember that very famous artist, Georgia O'Keeffe, did a bunch of these flowers where they were really big, but she did them in such a way that's like you're being dragged into the flower. And some people, subject matter is a big thing, and they kind of wonder, what are you doing the flowers for? You know, what's the big deal about the flowers? She said, well, you know, you're going to look at my flowers. That's so true. You can't walk by one of her florals and not look at them because of the way she did it. She drags you into the space. And that's what artists do. They're arranging things. And sometimes they stick closely to what it is. Sometimes they change it very much. And I'm not bleeding like I wanted to. Oh well. And sometimes they just put the colors and the textures together in a way that they think is a great visual experience. And I've talked about this before. But I never know how far people go into these YouTubes, so I do tend to repeat myself, and that's just the way it is. Okay, now I'm going to get a little fancier here. I'm going to make the drawing a little more some green here and try to get more of that curvature of those wonderful petals. Maybe have some green ones. I don't know. I am not bound by what's in front of me. To me, it's what happens here on the paper. And then I make all kinds of decisions. It's not to say sometimes I don't work closely from things. I've done many portraits where I certainly didn't change the way the person looked. They wouldn't have liked that. And I definitely stuck very closely there. And they turned out very well. People have always said that they really liked them and didn't charge enough. Well, I do now. Finally decided to start getting paid for what I do and not give them away like artists tend to do. These are real quick paintings, but I have paintings that take a very, very long time, and I expect to be paid for all that time. And more than that, my expertise. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. Been working very hard at coming up with something that is unique to me, that is something to look at, and it's not going to be around when I'm gone. And then they will be limited. There will only be so many of them. That's why a lot of artwork becomes so high priced, because the person's gone. We're not going to get any more, and art is always unique to the artist. So when they're gone, the prices go way up. Okay, I'm starting to get it, even though it is kind of academic. I mean, we're not that academic, but I mean, it's, you know, I'm following more flower than I thought I was going to follow right now, but then I might get wilder later on. Don't know. Right now it's very, very loose. I'm even putting green in the petals. I didn't think I was going to be doing that. I don't know, maybe I'll get some real purple going in a minute and really get zonky. I was really thinking that I was going to get kind of like a dream effect in this one, and I still might. This is just the first layer, and I usually do many layers on these quick paintings that I'm demoing. Usually just, one or two. But I wanted it to kind of be dreamy. And so that parts of it look real and parts of it look like you're in another world. But I think probably the reason I'm kind of sticking more closely to what's there is I really like my spacing. I think my spacing, or what some people call composition, is really nice. I think it fits the space really well. I know that may not make a whole lot of sense, but when you do artwork as much as I do, it's, you know, you'd understand. And I think it's just really a nice arrangement. So that's probably why I'm sticking closer to what's there than I thought I would. I don't know. Painting is always an experience. The very famous artist Dorothy Gillespie once said, you know, it's like every time you do it, it's like jumping off a cliff. That's really true, because it doesn't matter how much you know about painting, how long you've been painting, it's always an experience. If it's not, it would be boring. You never really get exactly what you want. So I always told students so they didn't go nuts. But you can get close if you work hard. Okay, now I'm liking that a whole lot better. I want it to be more expressive and less descriptive. So that's starting to get some interesting things going. I think what I'll do, though, I'll probably still really stick closely to the space I've got here. I'm just going to get zonky with the colors and the textures and, you know, make it a little more of a dreamlike effect. That's going pretty quick, which is nice. I think I gotta get into my blue-green. As I said before, I love this color. There are a lot of people that think, well, I think there is some truth to this, that there are certain colors that people respond to that have to do with their personality. And I hate to say this because I'd like to think it's not true, but I read one time that people that are really into blue-green tend to be kind of difficult people. I would like to think I'm real difficult, but I don't know. I am real picky about things, and I have never really fit in. I think a lot of artists are probably like that. We have a hard time fitting in. I have never understood a lot of things that are real important to people that just aren't that important to me. But, you know, we're all different. I think it would be great if we would have respect for each other. What I've never liked is that being different as I am, there's always been people trying to straighten me out. I thought, why do you want to straighten me out? I'm real happy. I am real happy with what I do. And I have had get so much enjoyment out of being an artist. And it's wonderful when people buy it. And so I'm a little different. So my priorities are different from a lot of other people. But that's me, and you don't need to straighten me out. Because I just don't need any straightening out. Okay, I'm starting to see some interesting color things going, but yeah, I know I'm going to be reestablishing these leaves again and the flower again, because I really like the way it's turned, and I've lost that because I went a little too fast. I've lost some of the perspective on the flower, and I'm going to bring that back in. But I want to keep it just kind of a mystical look to it. I may just do a little bit more. I know it's still very, very loose, but I just want to get off camera where I can really spend some time making lots of decisions that I don't want to make when I'm demoing, because it just takes a long time. Still one of my fast works, but it's a lot more time than I'm willing to give while people are watching. But I really am starting to see some interesting things. And yeah, I know I'm going to bring all these leaves back in, keep them real soft though, sort of a dreamy focus, and get the perspective back on the flower. Because I think that was one of the strong parts of the spacing, was the really nice perspective on the flower. And it's kind of flattened out. Oh, I love using blue. I don't have a favorite color like a lot of artists because I use so many of them. But I really do have a thing about blue, blue-green. Maybe I am one of those difficult people. I don't know. I have been told that by many people. But I try to get along, try to respect other people as much as possible. I don't respect certain things. I think the gun violence in this country has gotten absolutely nuts. And I do think that we need to have some regulations. I guess I shouldn't get into that, but I don't know. Since I am talking, why not? I think that if we have to have all kinds of regulations for somebody to drive a car, then I think there should be regulations for people that buy guns. Just my opinion. Alright, I think I'm going to quit pretty soon. I don't want to lose the spontaneity, but I do want to bring back the perspective and the leaves that I had that I have definitely taken out. So thank you for watching. As always, the link to the final painting will be in the description as links to other sites with my artwork.